I turned $100 into $1 million in just 3 years. And no, I didn't win the lottery or inherit a fortune. Want to know the exact strategy I used to pull it off? Stick around, because I'm about to reveal every step, every mistake, and every secret that took me from pocket change to a 7-figure bank account. And you can copy this exact playbook to do it yourself. But here's the crazy part. It all started with a single decision that anyone, including you, can make today. Let me take you back to where it all began. 3 years ago, I was broke. Dead broke. I had $100 to my name, a beat-up laptop, and a burning desire to change my life. I was working a dead-end job, barely scraping by, and every day felt like I was running in place. Sound familiar? Most people would have given up, resigned to a life of just getting by, but I refused to accept that. The problem was, I had no idea where to start. How do you turn $100 into anything meaningful when the world feels stacked against you? Rent was due, bills were piling up, and that $100 was all I had to my name. The stakes were high, and failure wasn't an option. So what did I do? I decided to treat that $100 like it was my golden ticket. I wasn't going to blow it on takeout or some impulse buy. Instead, I asked myself one question that changed everything. What's the highest leverage way to turn this tiny amount of money into something bigger? I didn't have connections, a fancy degree, or insider knowledge. I did have was hustle and a willingness to learn. And that's where the first surprise comes in. The first thing I did with that $100 wasn't investing in stocks, crypto, or some get-rich-quick scheme. Spent it on a single book that completely rewired how I thought about money. Now, you're probably thinking, a book? Really? How does a book turn $100 into $1 million? Stay with me, because this is where it gets wild. The book wasn't some self-help fluff. It was a deep dive into the psychology of wealth and micro investments. It taught me one critical lesson. Small, calculated risks can compound faster than you think. I took that $100 now down to $80 after the book, and I used it to start a side hustle that cost almost nothing but had insane potential. Picture this. I'm sitting in my tiny apartment with no money, no network, and no clue what I'm doing. But I'm determined to make it work. I decided to flip digital products. Think ebooks, templates, and small online courses. They're cheap to create, have zero overhead, and can sell to anyone, anywhere in the world. Here's the first step I took. I used $50 of that remaining $82, buy a domain name and a basic website template. With the last $30, I got a subscription to a graphic design tool to create my first product, a simple budgeting spreadsheet for freelancers. Sounds basic, right? But here's the thing. Freelancers are desperate for tools that make their lives easier. And I sold that spreadsheet for $10 a pop. In the first month, I made $200. That's a 100% return on my investment in just 30 days. But the real shock? I reinvested every penny into creating more products, guides, templates, even a mini course on productivity. By month 3, I was pulling in $1,000 a month, all from that initial $100. But let's pause for a second. You're probably wondering, why didn't I just throw that $100 into crypto or stocks? Here's the truth. Those markets are a gamble for most people, especially when you're starting with pocket change. The book I read taught me something crucial: focus on what you can control. I couldn't control Bitcoin's price swings or the stock market, but I could control the quality of my products and how I marketed them. And that's where the second surprise comes in. I didn't just sell those products on my website. I tapped into a platform you're probably sleeping on right now. Picture this. Millions of people scrolling through a marketplace, credit cards in hand, ready to buy digital products like mine. That platform? Etsy? Yes. Etsy isn't just for handmade crafts, it's a goldmine for digital downloads. I listed my spreadsheets and guides there, and sales exploded. By the end of year 1, I was making $10,000 a month, all from a $100 starting point. Now, here's where the story takes a crazy turn. I could have stopped there, coasting on my Etsy hustle, but I got greedy, not for money, but for scale. I realized I was sitting on a system that could grow exponentially if I played my cards right. So I took every dollar I made and reinvested it into learning one skill that changed everything: digital marketing. I spent $5,000 on an online course that taught me how to run ads, build funnels, and drive traffic. Sounds expensive, right? But imagine this. I'm now reaching thousands of people a day, targeting exactly the right audience for my products. And every ad I ran brought in 5 times what I spent. By year 2, my little side hustle was pulling in $50,000 a month. But here's the thing, success like that doesn't come without mistakes. And this is the third surprise. I almost lost it all. Picture me, riding high, thinking I'm untouchable. When I made a rookie mistake, I got cocky and decided to diversify into physical products, custom journals, planners, you name it. I sank $20,000 into inventory, only to realize I didn't know the first thing about logistics or shipping. The products sat in my garage, unsold, while my digital business started slipping because I was spread too thin. It was a wake-up call. I had to refocus, cut my losses, and double down on what worked: digital products and smart marketing. That mistake taught me a lesson I'll never forget. Stick to what you're good at until you've mastered it. So, what did I go from that setback to $1 million? I took everything I learned and scaled it. I built an email list, started a YouTube channel to drive traffic, and created a signature course that bundled all my best products into one package. I priced it at $497, and within 6 months, I had 2,000 students enrolled. Do the math, that's nearly $1 million in revenue. It's all from a system that started with $100. But here's the kicker. I didn't need a big team, fancy office, or even a ton of time. I did this while working my day job for the first 2 years. Now, let's break down the exact strategy so you can copy it. Step 1. Start with something small and low risk. You don't need $100,000 to make $1 million, you just need a seed. Buy a book, take a course, or invest in a tool that gives you knowledge. Step 2. Create something valuable that people want. It could be a digital product, a service, or even content. The key is to solve a problem. Step 3. Find a platform where your audience already hangs out: Etsy, YouTube, TikTok, whatever, and put your offer in front of them. Step 4. Reinvest every dollar you make into learning or scaling. Ads, courses, tools, spend money to make money. Step 5. Stay focused. Don't chase every shiny opportunity like I did with those journals. Stick to what works until you've nailed it. Imagine this for a second. You, sitting at home, with just $100 in your pocket, building a business that could change your life. Picture the moment you check your bank account and see your first $1,000, then $10,000, then more. That's what this strategy did for me, and it can do the same for you. But here's the final twist. The real secret isn't the $100 or even the product, it's the mindset. I stopped thinking like someone who was broke and started thinking like someone who could build something from nothing. That shift, more than anything, turned my $100 into $1 million. If you're sitting there thinking this sounds too good to be true, I get it. I was skeptical too. But I'm living proof that this works, and I want you to try it.
Take that first.
Step today, buy that book, create that product, or just write down one idea that could make you money. You don't need to be rich, smart, or lucky. You just need to start. And if you're still here, you're already halfway there. So, hit that like button if this inspired you, and subscribe to the channel for more strategies like this. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. It's even crazier than this story.